Hello and welcome.
Hello. That intro for me was like a Bruce Willis movie, like get it in, get it done. For like a second. It was like I had to get everything. My laptop was against me. Mercury retrograde was having a party. I was like, we must get it on time.
Oh, this retrograde has been so like subtle.
And it was like literally about a second before.
Yeah, it's been so subtly annoying. It's exactly when you're late. It's been jumping in. It did that to me earlier. So the Mercury decided that I'm not going into my Hotmail. My main email is my Hotmail. If I'm not going into my Hotmail, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you there? Is Mercury still toying with you?
So I keep vanishing.
I still saw you, but the Tuesday show was kind of the same. I was at times disappearing from my own screen, and then people said I was frozen. But yeah, let's say hi to everyone. Hey, Jen Pie. Hey.
Good morning, afternoon, good evening. Hello.
It's April, and the Mercury retrograde is only around for a few more days. Yes. And the Venus retrograde, if you hadn't noticed,
it's making us know and it's still here.
Stepping all over the Venus's toes. The Venus retrograde is not far from leaving us as well. Farewell, farewell.
Exactly. I mean, it's been an absolute expletive. So I'm really, I'm hoping that when we might feel like new people when this retrograde comes and turns around. Can you see me? Is it being a bit weird?
No, I can see you just fine. Can everybody else see you? Let's pop some comments on and see what is.
It's just be a bit slow, I think.
I would guess that there are some screen freezes because Mark's saying, who needs Botox when we have screen freezes?
That's the right way of telling us.
Yeah, exactly. Take note. Let's introduce ourselves to new viewers and to people listening afterwards.
Good morning. And my name's Laura, and this is the fantastic Inbaal. Yay! This is Psychic Brunch, #second breakfast.
And we are on for the first show in April, still in the midst of our Mercury retrograde, of our Venus retrograde, and in what we can only think of as the aftermath of the eclipse.
Yeah. Do you see me twitch?
Funnily enough, I couldn't. I thought it was like the screen going funny. Yes. Yeah. The eclipse, which I'll admit was not too bad over here, as far as I can tell. Let's flash up some messages while we gather ourselves. So Grizz, who owns the channel, sent the first message. I'm assuming programmed the first message to say you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make content. And Mark says, good morning, Inbaal and Laura. I hope that you're both okay. Glorious weather again. Relative. Yeah. Oh, and happy birthday for this time next week, Laura.
Well, it is this time next week, isn't it? It's on Thursday. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Very exciting. What day of the week were you born? Are you Wednesday?
Thursday. So it's the same. Yeah. So it's that kind of cycle of being the same day that I was. And what's the poem? What day were you born on? What's your day?
On Friday.
Friday's child is fair of face.
Full of grace, I think.
Grace and face. I think Thursdays has far to go, which I always found like a bit exhausting sounding, but it is like Jupiter, isn't it? So it's like the big planet. So it's like there's a lot of Jupiter.
And you have gone far.
Yes, true.
You have, as a child, you did have far to go. Maybe now is the time for you to rest.
Yeah, I could do with a nap. Thursday's child could do with a nap.
I've got 2 of mine were born on Thursdays, and 2 of mine were born on. Wow, don't tell them I take long to remember. I think Saturdays. 2 were born on Saturdays. But I think Sean was born on a Wednesday. Were you born on a Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Are you sort of woke?
Yes, woeful. And the other 2 kids are born Saturday.
Yeah, two on a Thursday, two on a Saturday.
I've got the poem here. It says,
Oh.
Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. So Shawnee is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe because it's Woden's day. So you've actually got the gods in the thing. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for a living. And the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe, good and gay. You feel like they've made the Sunday one a bit different, don't you? They've kind of added a line there, like, oh yeah, Sunday different.
I would love a nice LGBTQ questionnaire to see how many were in fact born on a Sunday.
That would be really good. Yeah.
Just in case, because I love that it's kind of rooted in tradition. Well, it is tradition, but it's rooted in like ancient tradition. And I'm thinking, well, maybe those like older generation knew something that the middle tradition didn't.
It's true, but you know, also like with the holly and the ivy, and they quickly put a Christian line in it. Like the Sunday one does look like they're going, okay, we have to change this one because it's God's day. You know, it's not necessarily what.
What else have we got left over on Sunday? You know, we're definitely not going to work hard for a living. Although
Saturn, you know, you got the Saturn, you got child of loving and giving. So that's Thursday's Thor, Jupiter. Wednesday, Woden. Tuesday. Well, it's interesting. Tuesday's being full of grace, isn't it? Being Mars. It's an interesting one.
I feel like, you know, whoever put it together had a Tuesday born partner that they had to had to make sure. And is it Saturday working hard for a living?
Yeah, Saturn on a Saturday. Yeah. But I think maybe Tia being full of grace makes more sense. There's anyway, it's interesting. It's an interesting one. Obviously, Monday, the moon, fair of face. That's something that makes sense. So that was an unexpected tour of our birthdays.
Tia is more complex than Mars, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's ancient, actually. He's also represents, he was an old god of the stars as well. So you've got the god of the sky and the heavens. So that makes a bit more sense for grace. And
I think with some of the deities, as they kind of transported from location to location, they may have lost some of the uniqueness or may have amalgamated into some others. And I think I have a note. Tuesday, full of grace, not woe.
Yeah, we've been there, Sean. We've done it. We did it.
We've been. Yeah, we're doing the whole thing. Yeah, you can check the note. But yeah, I think it's really interesting because it's a Christian poem and it's literally in the 10 Commandments to not work on a Saturday. It's literally there. So that is even more proof that the roots go back further and that the traditions go back further before we, found monotheism and, kind of stayed on that for a couple of thousand years.
Exactly, isn't it? It's like these ones you couldn't really wipe out easily. You had to change to make it appropriate. Like some of the goddesses became saints. Okay, she's not going anywhere. Let's make her a saint. And the poems
and some festivals.
Some festivals, yes, yeah.
And some festivals. I don't want to picture. So I'm so over people saying, oh, there's no proof that, that the Christian tradition took anything from paganism. So over it. Sure, there's no proof except for like the painted eggs and
the tree, the actual physical tree. The Christmas tree.
Yeah, practically none. And I feel like we've had like several waves within what we can only refer to as neo-paganism. Of course it's new. We know it's new. You're not revealing anything. That's fine. Yeah. We don't think we're the daughters of the ones you couldn't burn. We don't.
No.
But we've gone through several waves where it's been like, oh, did you know that a lot of the sort of the traditions that got incorporated into Christianity have pagan roots? Did you know? I'm so clever, I'm telling you. And now we're going through the wave of, did you know that they really don't? And that there is...
No, go on, go. Continue.
No. That was it. That was literally it. That was intended to cut halfway in rage.
The of course you can't prove something that was a freaking oral tradition in the same way as you can, like, and that's the easy, but you can, because there's a different way that things are remembered in oral traditions, like through songs, poems, festivals, but nothing was written down by the actual pagans themselves because they didn't write, and not because they were thick. They remembered things a lot better than you and I can remember things. They have amazing memories of the land but it's so frustrating that you're not only having your kind of culture kind of wiped out a good couple of thousand years ago, that still people are going, oh no, it didn't happen. Like, just say it did, right?
So they weren't pagan. So what were they?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll accept they're not pagan. What were they? And it's actually sort of one of my favorite things is is noise, but also the connection to the land. I've got multiple
like
diaries. Isn't it pretty? Yeah.
So pretty.
Multiple diaries of like old English traditions that are so fascinating to me, because really where I come from, all the traditions and all the religion are together, and there's nothing to uncover. There's almost nothing to uncover there. This happened, it's in the book, there is the archaeology, it's all together. Whereas I find English tradition so fascinating because it has gone through the wash multiple times. I think I've got a few more of like the same. It's folklore, right? I'm obsessed with it. Where did this come from? The like May Day festivals.
Yeah.
Still celebrated. Obsessed with it, and celebrated in a virtually unbroken way in villages where where the written word was only introduced in the late 60s.
Yeah. Oh, the 1660s. No, 1960s.
No, 1960s. But sorry.
I don't know if it's the same now with kids at school. Maybe it's not, but we did May dancing as a school thing, Maypole dancing at infant school. We were like, the terror of getting tangled up in a maypole went on since I was about 5.
I'm pretty sure that this generation's aversion to elf and safety has got May dancing out of the way. But when the children bring their orange with the cloves in at Christmas, that's still going on. And they're like, oh, we brought a thing. And I was like, what has that exactly got to do with the birth of Christ? And they're like, well, it's the light, because Christ is a light onto the world. And I was like, okay, I can take. And the orange, where come from the orange? Is orange native to Europe? It's not. Okay. And the cloves, these are people that have never seen a clove outside of that orange, that wouldn't pick it up in the supermarket. So those things I'm completely obsessed by. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of good quality questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many really bizarre. If we look at English folklore, it's so bizarre, isn't it? And I love it as well. Like,
love it.
The modern world going, oh yeah, we've got a horse's skull and we're just taking it around to our neighbour's house. Like, what? It's brilliant. Like, these kind of festivals that are ideas that are still going on, that have been pretty much unbroken, that have definitely been living memory. You can't say that's got a root in something a bit wild.
Yeah. Yes. And wild is really, really cool with us. So yeah, let's see. That was our good morning rant, everybody. Welcome to the channel. You never know what the rant will be about. I mean, it can run around quite.
It could be about chewing gum. We had a chewing gum rant once. It could go anywhere.
I was going to say that they run around like similar lines, but you've just sort of proved that was such a fabrication. But yeah, let's welcome everybody who's here. Wild Bill is sending us prayer hands and also saying greetings from Atlanta, Georgia.
Good morning.
Wow. And I love that we were just sort of saying about wildness, and
Wild Bill turns up. Summoned Wild Bill. Excellent. I wonder what time it is with you guys. I'm a bit confused by the clock changes. Like, has everyone changed now?
So in the States, they put the clocks to summertime 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Now, we've caught up with them, although I think most of Europe just sort of went now. So we're, I think, maybe 6 hours apart from Atlanta, Georgia. So it might be like before 6 a.m. Is that right? Let us know, Wild Bill. And let us know how you came by that nickname.
I know, I love
it. And also how it ended up. If your Christian name is William and that's how it got to Bill, I'd love to know why it's not Wild Will or Wild Willie. Wouldn't that have, right? I love an alliteration.
Sorry, but it's got a different connotation, hasn't it? In the UK, particularly if you're called Wild Willie, it would be.
I don't know. You'd be very popular.
Very popular.
Very popular. Mark says hello, everyone else, because he greeted us. Please remember to press like so you don't miss a show when Inbaal, Laura, or anyone from Bigfoot Outlaw are on. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for being our PA, Mark. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Sandy says,
Sandy.
Good morning, ladies.
Hello,
Colleen only needs to say morning for us to get really, really excited about it. Simeon says, good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic day and all UK. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm counting how many horse emojis we're getting on all of our messages. I feel that my work here is done, really.
That's it. You're converting everybody to Ipponaism.
Or whichever horse wants to come on and talk.
Yeah.
Fine. That's good.
The Reverend Wild Bill
Excellent.
is saying everything looks good over here. I love how you completed your studies in the couple of days. Ooh, we have Mark saying I was born on a Wednesday, and offspring born on a Wednesday as well, and E on a Thursday. So E on a Thursday, like my,
I
want to say T and, no, I don't want to get it wrong. I think T and wrong. Colin's like, no chance they'll watch it. They barely make eye contact with me in the house. Colleen says, I'm a Monday.
I love it. Actually, really fascinating because you've got such a mix of folklore in even the days of the week. You've got so many Norse gods or Germanic gods and a few Saturn and the moon, is a different, it's not this Mani is the moon and it's a different thing. So you've got this mixture of different sort of deities and gods, and which kind of sums up this country pretty well, actually. It's a good old mixture of a lot of different things.
Yeah, and I think it's different in different languages. So you've got Domenico in Spanish and maybe also Italian for Sunday, and I think that is a Christian name. And then is Samedi? That's also Saturn.
I'm just checking something on the phone because I'm just checking.
And then in German and Germanic derived languages, you've got Mittwoch, midweek for Wednesday, because we are not taking chances. We want to know where we are in the week.
Yeah, no, I've got a feeling that in I don't know if I'm right. Bath Day, yes, it does. Yeah, I love that. There's this story that the Vikings bathed every Saturday, and that the Saxons of England were like, "Why do you bath so often, you freaks?" Every Saturday it's bath day.
Aren't you scared that like your skin would peel?
Yeah, and that Saturday in Norwegian means bath days to this day. I just checked. I thought it did, but I had to just check my brain because Saturday still means bath day.
How do you say it?
Låsdag. So it's L-O with a cross through it. R-S-N-D-A-G, dog. So Låsdag is bath day. And I was like, I'm sure it still means that. I'll just check because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I love that stayed in. Like Saturday is bath day.
Yeah. Even if your whole week is really difficult, or if you're like, climbing Everest.
Yeah,
find some water. I love that. I think Mark was saying, I think they mean happy for gay, but either is cool with us. Reverend says, I love that. A little bit of knowledge for everybody. Sunday was the first day of the week. The Christians made Sunday the Sabbath. Actually, Saturday is the Sabbath. So, fun fact, in Hebrew, 7 is Sheva, and seventh day, Saturday, is Shabbat, and it also means to sit down or to go on strike. So the rest on a Saturday was already sort of baked in the invention of the Sabbath. And another fun fact, not all Sabbaths are black.
They're not, Aussie. Even Aussie has to agree that they're not. But also, if you have a bath on a Saturday, it must be your rest day. Like if you're this is everyone's national bath day, you're not going to be pillaging or farming or doing anything else.
You'll be needing a bath even if you work. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. So that's another thing I'm obsessed with, English folklore, but I'm also obsessed with how things will have traveled across seas in a way that is almost impossible. Now, I think for our American friends, they're realizing that that continent really is sort of very separate, and maybe sort of things didn't transfer the exact same way for Native American cultures. But Europe, Africa, and Asia can be, you can ride a donkey through all of them. So things will have gone across, and people have sailed up and down in the Mediterranean, conquering each other, for the whole of history. That, that's what people do. And I really thought that when everybody's like distracted on their phones, maybe the conquering would stop, but so far not so much.
No.
One day.
You guys have good Halloween holidays, though. I think I do appreciate your autumn celebrations in America. It always looks much better than we do it over here. Like you have proper cozy autumn magical festivals like at this time. I think you've done the pumpkining, you've done the visions of it really good over there. So that's my favorite American thing.
That is nice. I think like the colors of the leaves must be unbelievable. It is interesting too, says Simeon, to see how much of this applies to the days people were born on. Mine was Saturday.
So I wonder, it's like, hasn't long my Saturday, but being about working hard for a living, does that mean that because you work hard for a living, you get a rest on Saturday? Yeah, maybe that should be the thing. It's just going to be a...
Yeah, there we go. Now, the Reverend Wild Bill is bringing us some proof. I'm loving the education. The only proof is the Christian change. And that is absolutely no disrespect to Christians or, or Christianity. No. But, we're all living here together. So we have lots of knowledge coming in from the Rev. Mark says, the thing is, some thumpers are in denial about how Christianity stole. I was going to change stole, and then I thought, no, we're good with this. From pagan stuff, like the drinking of wine, body of Christ, or star, Easter, yeah, that drinking thing. You know a lot more about folklore.
About drinking.
I was actually thinking about folklore, because is there like, I'm trying to connect it to stuff that I would know, like eating the hearts of your enemies was supposed to sort of give you their courage. So consuming things in order to own their qualities, that's, you know what I mean? That's something that in like the pagan mind, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
And, the sacrifice was quite a big part of early pagan. It's not a pleasant viewing when you look at the sacrifices from our modern minds. Like we say, we're pagans, but I don't think many of us are up for some of the...
Not even eating like a bit of chicken when it's already cooked. No, the proportion of vegetarians is really alarming.
Yeah, so you can look at the sort of the sacrifices, and it is such a different mental process to how that you got stories of the Romans screaming because they didn't want to be sacrificed, where actually to people in that different culture, it was an honor to be sacrificed to the gods, and they actually got into that space. So it's a different headspace. There's actually some very sad tales of Romans absolutely losing their stuff because it was like, no, don't do that to us, but it's a different culture that would have had a lot more bloodshed involved in it. So for us to go, what is that? I mean, we don't know exactly how it came forth, but like you say, if you wanted something from the earth, you had to give something, and that seemed to be a very, very powerful, potently reciprocal relationship, which we kind of have lost. Not that I'm up for sacrificing anyone, no.
No, but for us in our sort of 21st century Western mind, we look back and we think, wow, that is tragic. Whereas if we had somebody time travel to us and they'll be like, okay, so these cars, what do they do? And we'll be like, well, they get us from here to there much quicker. And also they kill tens of thousands of people a year. And they'll be like, that's tragic. Why do you do that?
Exactly. And we've cut down whole sacred forests for the road to have that pleasure, you know, and here's a mall. Like...
Yeah, exactly. We have Joshua here, speaking of, and he says, you girls want to know what Stonehenge secret is. I'm going to get a little closer because I do.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you tell Joshua.
Wait, no, it's followed by, I'm trying to think of a way to say it. So I'm starting to think, could this later on be a message that that I need to maybe read out, censor, and not put fully to screen? I don't know.
We'll find out.
Mark goes, this could be a fantastic debate. It could go on for many, many years. I know, another 2000 maybe.
What was our topic, by the way? Do we have a topic?
I did, but it didn't end up on the thingy. I was saying we'll just do April because I was sort of choosing a topic while stressed about other things. Not stressed, just a little overexerted on other things. Yes. Mark is loving Wild Willie. Very good. I'm not even going to read the rest of the message out loud because it's beyond. We have
horsey emojis. We have. How are your horses, Colleen? How are they? I hope they're doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, obviously. That's
and also I think the winter was really, really harsh at Colleen's. How are the temperatures doing now?
I hope things are starting to get a bit better.
Sean, who's going to go gardening but is suspiciously still by his he says in Irish Saturday is the Saturn, so even closer to Saturn.
That's
surprising.
That's nice. Thank you for sharing that. Desatharin. Cool.
Yeah. I can see your eyes are wandering away, and now I know that you're going to Google the names of all the days of the week in
yes, I am.
in Irish, and I would like to support that. So
yes,
Mark says Låsak, same as in Swedish. Very good.
Yeah.
And I can't read that.
I'm not even either.
No, you're gonna have to wash your eyes. Joshua, do you know when I one day maybe later on in life put together my CV, which I don't really have. I don't think I'm going to put producer on it because that idea of putting on the message first and then checking whether it's safe for screen is a bad idea. One of my worst.
But funny though.
Yeah. Comedically, great idea.
I've got all my Irish names now. I'm happy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So then again, anyone that's from Ireland, I'm so sorry for my Gaelic. So Friday is it's H and a big A. Oh God, I can't even say it. The Heoni. Thursday is Dear Dwayne. So yeah, I think it's lovely. I'm gonna look it all up later. Very interesting. You can see how Mars is in the Tuesday one. D Maris.
Oh wait. He's studied Irish at school for 12 years. So let's get the pronunciation.
So Friday's Dehina.
Friday is Dehina.
Thank you, because that was hard.
One of my favorite things to put on a hummus.
Any other ones?
Is Thursday.
They
Dagin.
Not Dear Dwayne, as I was saying.
Not Dear Dwayne. Are you surprised?
My Duolingo didn't go too well for my. I don't think.
No, and you already said Friday. Okay, we'll get all of it done. We'll get all of it done at a different time. So we have more education from Joshua, who says Stonehenge. Thank goodness that it's not sort of something that I have to remove immediately again. Not from you, Joshua, from mine. Joshua says Stonehenge is a spiritual doorway for the moon. The moon is the Milky Way's embryo. The moon follows the sun for energy to manifest in a very creative way. I'm not going to disagree. So Laura is a tour guide for all like the old guides. How do you present Stonehenge to your, disciples, to your tourists, to your travelers?
Yeah, I mean, because Stonehenge is not known more as a solar temple because it's linked to the solstice. Everyone goes there for the summer solstice, but it's actually got a really powerful alignment to the winter solstice, so the dying of the sun. And there are lots of graves found around the Stonehenge, there's a lot of very old graves found around the outside. So it being a place of death and rebirth sounds pretty good. So in a way, of course the moon would be linked to that. I mean, our ancestors were so much more clever of measuring the minute details of the movements and having the stories and the connection with the Milky Way and the moon. So yeah, I absolutely feel like, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. It's definitely got a very solar energy, and you can see that from the actual religion at the time when it was created. There's a very big solar cult going on around the world. However, the moon was also part of that, and so I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to accept any theory that is just gorgeous, and I feel like there's that there is no denying that it is a doorway, that it is a spiritual doorway. Obviously, when
manifesting,
it's a very emotional. Did we go there together?
We did ages ago, and we said we'll hotel in street. That was ages ago, wasn't it? Like 2010 or something like that.
It was before 2010. 2010, I was already here. Was it was midsummer?
Yeah.
2009, 2008, something like that.
So. Yeah. I think it was BC before the cat. So it was, yeah.
So maybe
was I worried about getting cat sitters? No. I was
Yeah. So it was maybe 2008 in that case.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Yeah. And I was going to say about the moon thing, and actually with Avebury, there's the sun and the moon temple of Avebury. You've got the alignment to the sun and the alignment to the moon, and the moon temple maybe it's got an alignment to a phase of the moon that happens once every 27 years. So it's like the amount of magic that goes in, it completely aligns. They've seen that last time that alignment happens, they've witnessed it. That it's not obviously maybe just for that, but the fact that these alignments, they had this patience that they could go, well, every 27 years this happens. You know what? In those days, you might not have lived that much longer than 27. So you're doing it in a way that you're maybe seeing it once a lifetime.
Yeah, and considering that, like we said, the written word was not really that big of a hit, then the amount of transfer of knowledge that would have had to happen is bananas. If you think of another one of my obsessions, like medicine persons would have had to train the next person. Like you say, nobody lived that long. Although without the medicine women, they'd have lived even shorter. So it's something that takes a lifetime to learn, or what they would have thought of as like 3 lifetimes.
Yeah. And people that I think how long it took to say about Stonehenge's purpose, but it's like it probably evolved over time because it took hundreds of years or thousands, to go and complete. So that's how many people's lives that have shifted all that time. And you'd be building something that you knew that wouldn't be complete in your lifetime. We get bored if we can't do it in 10 minutes nowadays.
Yeah.
The whole life is dedicated to doing something that you may not see and your children may not see the results of, but you're still focused on creating it. I think it's really really amazing.
I think so. Colleen says they're great for the horses. Terrible today, snow and rain, and quite cold today. The weather is going back and forth, and see hints of spring approaching.
Bless you. Hopefully soon. Do you get sort of warm summers there? I don't know if it's like an extreme place where you get really cold winters. Maybe hopefully you get some good warm summers as well. I'm not sure, but I really hope you do, because we kind of get often a pattern. The whole year is a little bit similar, isn't it? Goes a bit colder, gets a bit warm. Doesn't really go that far.
Yeah, like we've not had tanning weather in winter and not had snow in summer, but everything else, literally, yes. Yeah, anything is possible. I got married in York very near midsummer, and there were floods. There were floods so bad that they were on TV, and we
remember that. Yeah,
remember?
I do. My gosh.
Yeah,
Whew,
yeah.
Nice,
So
he's getting married and the floods come out.
yeah. I wonder what message the universe was sending me. It was two Pisces getting married. It was saying we're giving you a lot of fish for babies.
Yes.
Joshua says, "Oh,
You've gone purple.
can you see me purple?"
I
Yeah,
feel a bit
I
like
see
I've
you
not got my soft kind of focus. I think I need a soft focus as well.
I know. Joshua says, I tuned in a few days ago. So since you girls are into this stuff,
we are.
Massively.
We're so into this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We're putting that one out of the way, Sean.
No, Lon Nicole, he's taking himself into the garden. Yes, Lon Nicole is here. Hey, Lon Nicole, how are you? Greeting everyone. I'm putting the greetings on. And Colleen says, I live not far from what is called America's Stonehenge
we live in Salem.
Salem,
that's
New
one place on the
Hampshire.
list. Come see the horses and see Salem. That's my mission. And we're going to come over. We're going to come over, aren't we? We're going to do it. Yes.
I think, is it Salem, Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah, wrong Salem.
All the witches. So now we know there's another Salem we have to go to.
We'll go to all of them. I'm happy with this. But I mean, the horses were the main thing, and anything else is good.
And yeah, we've got Joshua saying, yes, she right. It is the resurrection of the Milky Way.
Milky Way is very important. Yeah.
And yeah, we have messages. And Joshua says, ooh. Wait, sorry, I lost the thing. Joshua says, ancient Egyptian called the Milky Way not Nut goddess, but it's both masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
Is it the same as Nuit that we have?
Yeah.
Aeon cards. Yeah, is Nut and Nuit the same?
I would say. That's what I would say. Not that I'm an expert in that, but I would say that. Yeah, Nuit.
Because I think Nuit is quite important in Crowley stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is one of the books of the law dedicated to Nuit? One of the days of the book of the law dedicated to Nuit?
No, I would imagine so. And not the biggest knowledge of Thelema, but I reckon.
Yeah.
And you've got Nuit in the kind of the Aeon card, which is still one of my favourite.
Yeah, I'm hunting for it.
Me too. Hunting for the Aeon.
Hunting for Nuit. But yeah, she is the night sky. And I think he's right because it is connected to the Milky Way. There we go. I found it.
Yeah.
Although I don't know that you can see anything because everything is purple.
Nice hint of purple. But yeah, there she is.
Here we have Nuit.
And it's interesting because, again, I'll just tell you, here's me. Oh, now I'll give you a Norse fact. But like one of the first beings in Norse mythology is Arthumbla, who was the cosmic cow. And she nourished the first people with her milk. And she existed before the planet. So she's like the Milky Way. There's all these cow mythologies. And she's one of the most important beings. She nourished the gods into being. So I love that the Milky Way is just, and again, a cosmic cow. We're a bit rude to cows nowadays. They're sacred. Like I know the Hindus know that. It's just
exactly. At least somebody's on board with Yeah. But in ancient Egyptian, obviously you've got Hathor, and then within the tarot, I love Hathor. I did a lot of magic to have babies, and one of them was a Hathor spell that I got from Cassandra Eason.
Oh yes, I remember that. Oh, Cassandra.
We met her together, didn't we?
We did.
Oh, worst day of her life. Wow, did I descend upon her like a ton of pyramids? Boom. Hey!
We are now best friends forever.
Yeah, we love you so much. You're the best. And one of the spells I got from
there we
her.
go. It's got the colours without the pink.
Yeah, there we go. Now we can see all the colors. I don't even know what to do with mine. Let me see. I'm scared to refresh it because I'm scared that would stop the whole broadcast, and I don't want that. So we'll stick with the purple.
You look pretty. You look like we're in the 80s. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love the purple. We'll get on board with the purple. But in Egyptian mythology, Hathor has like the crown, and we have that crown appearing throughout the tarot and throughout the Thoth tarot, but also even the kind of lunar crown on the high priestess in Rider-Waite, with the two horns. Are they horns? Are they so whenever you sort of say to people, oh, it's, you know, it's from the cow goddess, it sounds so disrespectful because cow is kind of a swear, but you know, it is.
I think the most sacred things were made swear words, weren't they? Like, you had to bring, you know, you call someone a witch or a hag, or you call someone a cow. It's like things that were sacred, and they're like, oh, it's become a way of disempowering it, isn't it? Like,
absolutely. I think, you know, even the blameless Christ gets his name sort of thrown about in very, you know, very unkind ways. So we've got Mark has sent us days in Swedish. Måndag, the moon. Tisdag is still Tuesday.
Onsday Odin, Thursday Thor, Freya, birthday Sun, sort of so
the
sun, yeah. So pretty much all of them. And it's very similar in English, isn't it? We've kind of taken, apart from the bath, we don't have baths here, because I think the Anglo-Saxons were so horrified at the idea of a weekly bath. They're like, we're not having that today.
We're civilized.
We don't have baths around here.
Not that often anyway. Joshua says, if you look at the moon, you'll see a person in it looking at the light as in door way of light. Yeah, I love it.
You're looking at the moon looking at you because you're all like illuminated, and I can see your face looking at Inbaal in the light.
I know. Colleen has got our summers are on average 90 Fahrenheit or 30.
Warmer than us.
Yeah, that's hot.
I mean, we have an average like 23, maybe, might be 23 degrees C if we're lucky.
and not like every day. Not even every day.
If we're lucky.
And Colleen says, yes, Salem, Massachusetts is the sad story of the witches.
You're being very unknowing about American places. There's more, of course, there's more than one Salem. Yeah.
Now we have a mystical question from Reverend Bill saying, what YouTube channel are they watching? It's not this one for sure. Right. Explanation from the void. Explanation from the void. Right now, we are broadcasting live on 4 Facebook channels. One of them is Laura's personal channel. One is the Grizzly Bigfoot Outlaw channel. We've got, I think, the Spooky Network Things channel. We are also live on Grizzly's LinkedIn. We're live on 3 YouTube channels, Laura's, mine, and Bigfoot Outlaw, and on Twitch, on Grizzly's Twitch, and on my Instagram. All of them, you can see your own messages and other people that are watching on the same platform as you, except for Instagram, where nobody can screaming into the void. But all of the messages, except for Instagram, are coming into my screen here in Yorkshire. They're all complaining that it's cold. They're not. So I can see all of your messages. I'm doing my best to sort of flash up all of them. You'd really have to be quite outrageous not to make it to the screen at all, which, you know, does happen. So if you're not seeing other people's messages, they are possibly watching it on other platforms. Obviously, if you're watching or listening to us later on Spotify or, you know, Apple Podcasts or anything, then you just have to rely on the good faith that those messages have appeared and they exist somewhere, but you might not get to see them so much. So Joshua is closing this chapter by saying, there's more to this, but you girls got other nice things to think about. You know, I doubt this really a lot.
Yeah, me too. That's generally what I do think about 24/7. I don't think about what the cat needs, and I go back to thinking about this. So
no, this This is like the little bits of gravel that fill the rest of our days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark goes, yes, Nuit is most certainly Crowley. Reading back, week, not weekend. Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Not
autocorrect.
weekend. That's cool with us. And Mark says, we're seeing your spiritual aura in Inbaal, although it's the first time I've seen one that size. It's not the first time I've heard that. Thank you. Handing me that joke. Joshua says, Pleiades stars drips milk from the Milky Way. Yes, the cow. Very nice. And, closing a circle here. Lorna says, the cow jumped over the moon. Can't remember
Hey, diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The other, I can't remember the rest of it. Remember, hey,
the little boy laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon.
Yeah,
and I knew the rest
Jack
of that.
And Jill, that's the solstice story. You know, the pail, and it, or there was something about which one is it? Jack and Jill, and broke his crown. You know, they fell down the hill. It's like a
Jack and Jill fell down. Climbed up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill. So that could be the sun and the moon. It's like it's a solstice, death, rebirth one. I know that's one of the old ones that link to the sun cycles as well.
Wow, I'm so excited by this cow jumped over the moon. That I'm gonna have to like Wikipedia every angle of it. And if nothing there exists, I may have to pepper Wikipedia with some insights that we have raised here.
I love this whole topic
on the editor page.
I love this. This whole topic came about from Mark saying, "It's your birthday next week, Laura," and suddenly we've gone into the cows and the moon, and then we're like, "Yes!"
Yeah, but I'm not even here for your birthday. I've got to take 2 weeks off because I cease to exist when their school holidays are on.
I'm going to see you anyway, so it's okay at some point in that time. So it's okay.
I know. I have to tell you the most Sean story ever. He's not there. He's trimming things. He's digging out the garden, which looks like he's about to lay a cable, and I'm loving that turn of phrase so much. So when we lived in London, he came home one day and he was like, I saw some originals of tarot artwork. Remember? Yes. Anyway, I remember the story, but I just don't have a lot of context. We haven't lived in London for 15 years. His long-term memory is similar to his short-term memory in being, let's say worn out from lack of use. So we're running the other day and I said to him, do you remember when you saw the original tarot? He's like, absolutely not. So I'm checking his memory, right? We're running. And I'm like, you came home one day and you said, I just saw original artwork, like big artwork of tarot cards. Were they Rider-Waite-Smith or were they Thoth? And he's like, I think they were Rider-Waite. I was like, okay, so where was it? I said, was it British Library? Was it British Museum? Because he worked for Natural History Museum. So I didn't know if they're all connected. And he's like, yeah, I don't really remember. And I said to him, you remember you told me that you were auditing, he's an auditor, you were auditing their basement and you warned them that they have, that there was flood risk and that there was no second option, basically no plan B for those cards. If there was a flood, the card original artwork would be there in the flood, doing its best to repel the water and failing. So, and he's like, oh, yeah, I do remember, but I don't remember where it was. Anyway, we get home and I say to him, I just had a look and the Rider-Waite originals are in New York where they have been for decades. And he was like, okay. And I said, and I had a little look and the Thoth originals have been in the Warburg Institute for a long time and they're being restored for the past 14 years. And he's like, oh yes, I did do some work in the Warburg Institute. Now, this is not him saying that not knowing where we're going, what we're going there for. This is him going through the whole process of me going, I want to see some original tarot work. I don't care if you guys come with me or not. I really want to go. Do you guys want to make a London trip of it? Where is it? It's in the Warburg Institute. When are you going? What's going to be on display? So that's him having consumed the whole information necessary, responding with such joy and surprise. Yes, I did do some work in the Warburg Institute. That's where it was. And I was like, was it? Now, was it really? So he's seen them before they were restored.
Wow, because I knew it was a thoth. I remember it was a thoth. I remember you said there's a danger of them being damaged by water, and it was a thoth. I remember that from,
no, that's years ago. That's the same kind of time scale of going to see Stonehenge together.
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
So
exactly. So we're going to see each other. We're going to take some pictures for you guys.
Yes.
If you're nice, we might even sort of do some videos.
What were you going to say then? If you're nice, you might even do some. I was like, what?
No, nobody can be that nice. So Joshua goes, you girls must be Jimi Hendrix fans.
You're Purple Haze.
Very good. Lorna is laughing about the cow jumping over the moon. Mark says, I need to get ready for Beltane, which is 1st of next month. Oh my goodness, I actually forgot. I just saw it in my diary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing our best to get through April 1st, since
day by day.
Yeah. It took 35 years to get through March. We still need to get to the middle of April before all the retrogrades give up and leave us alone.
Yeah.
We've got another.
I had to cancel all my trips as well. Like, it's such a retrograde thing. I was going to go to Iceland next week. I'm no longer going to Iceland next week. It's like, it's been such a retrograde of like, but it's okay. Iceland will still be there. I hope. That's fine. It's okay.
It'll definitely be there. It'll definitely be there. It's so ancient. We're not going to miss it. Moon Monkey John saying, hi you all. And Diane says, sorry, I missed this one. Are you talking about past lives? Probably
really
the only thing we haven't covered.
No, we've been talking about days of the week. That's where we started. Then we went in and the ruling deities of the days of the week. Then we went into the mythology and folklore and old pagan folklore. We went quite a day trip, really, in the last hour. It's been great.
Yeah, that was fabulous. So 5 minutes ago, or like 2-3 minutes to go. Thank you, Mark, for spending this time with us. So, and Lorna Nicole says, yes, everything that possibly could be an irritation has been an irritation, to put it mildly. That should really sort of be the title, like the headline of the Mercury retrograde, right? It's like poetry. Everything that possibly could be an irritation has been an irritation.
I was about to say.
I'm going to say what I always say every retrograde. I'm like, I didn't do too badly with this, and then some disaster befalls. I always sort of get through the majority of the retrograde. All right. This kind of thing, fine. Hotmail not working, fine. Things being locked, okay. Little things. But then I come to the kind of final day of the retrograde, and something like irrevocable just sweeps through.
False cost.
Ooh, let's do one question for Colleen, who we love so much.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, that's such a second interview today.
Second interview. So Colleen says, my husband lost his job, has a second interview today. Will it go well? Do you know? Let's have a look. Will it go well? So it's our only question. So that is our lovely gift from us to you. Will it go well? Solid.
I've got 3. I can't stop pulling many cards. I pulled 4 because we got Ace of Cups straight away, and we got the 3 of Swords in the middle and the 3 of Wands. So I was like, what's that 3 of Swords going on about? But then we got the Fool coming up. So I just feel like this is such an Aries energy with the 3 of Wands and the Fool, that there is something really amazing from this time. he is going to get a new job. It's going to be amazing. If this one isn't the best, or isn't quite work itself out, or there's something that isn't quite, something better is immediately springing from it. Okay, so I'm not saying it won't happen, because it feels like there's a good energy around right now, but I just get, because that Three of Swords is slap bang in the middle, it might be one of those things, of these retrogrades, where if the thing doesn't quite happen, it's because something better is right in the wings, and there's something very awesome for your husband coming up very, very soon. What did you get?
Yeah, so really interesting, because when you said 3 and we're talking about a second interview, I was thinking, could it be that it's just like a third interview? They're wanting to see him, or they're wanting to see him like for paperwork, or stuff like that. So I've got really solid cards. They're both discs, which is the same as pentacles. They're 4 and 8, which is my favorite numbers for business. So exactly like you said, it looks like there is a solid performance at the second interview right now, but there is something to follow. There is something to follow. And also, when I've got this one, it's so lovely. And 8 is such a great number for business. But after 8 in the tarot, we still have the 9 and the 10. So I always feel like it's, like you could negotiate for more, like you could ask for more. So it's either they might want him for a more senior role than the one he's interviewing for, or a more senior role at a different organization will want for him to go in, something like that.
It looks amazing, and he might just get a bit of a wobble, mightn't he? Because it's like, oh no, I thought this was here, I thought this was this, and it's going to shift. I think the boundaries are going to shift in some way, which makes us go Three of Swordsy. But it feels exciting.
Very exciting, amazing. So that was us. Oh, we've got fingers crossed for Lorna. For Colleen's husband from Longnagar. Amazing. And Colleen says, thank you so much. Makes complete sense. He has a few more irons in the fire too. Super exciting. Love that, irons in the fire. One of my favorite phrases. Enjoy the rest of the day, ladies, says Simeon. Hope you have the best birthday next week, Laura.
Thank
yes.
you.
Oh my goodness. It might be a whole week to go, but shall we put our voices together, everybody, and do happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday in 1 week. I really hope you make it, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. And lots of love. Yeah, that was good.
Was that Sean singing too, or was it an effect of the internet?
No, that was him.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
thank you. Purple Haze Sean.
Worst Lady Chatterley remake ever.
Lady Boobaloo's lover. So thank you, everybody. I think everybody was singing with you. Have an amazing birthday. I can't wait to see you. I see you guys in 2 weeks. We will see everybody in 2 weeks. Have a great 2 weeks.
See you all soon.